Air pollution from wildfires is extremely dangerous. We are just beginning to understand the impacts of the small particulates and that kind of air pollution. New Mexico is uniquely in trouble from what we've had as a multi-decadal drought that we expect will continue. And our state, our region, the Southwest region, is really drying up. We're losing trees. As these beloved forests are lost to wildfire, I think in general there's just a sense of sadness and grief, losing so many sacred and special nature spaces.
Of exploding, out-of-control wildfires tearing across New Mexico is tonight poised to get even more destructive. 2 fires merging into one monster blaze has alone torched over 100,000 acres.
It's devastating. You don't know what's going to be there.
With 65-mile-an-hour winds at its back and drought conditions in its path, nearly 300 structures are gone, thousands fleeing the flames.
We have nothing to go back to.
I lost everything over there, except for me and my family and some stuff here.
Richard Phillips says he lost his home to the blaze, burned down and nothing left.
When people lose their land, their livelihood to fire, that is incredibly traumatic. I have a lot of friends who get triggered when they just smell wood smoke. Because it triggers that sense of like their experience from those fires. New Mexico is an incredibly diverse state, and New Mexico and all of our surrounding communities, the Navajo Nation, the Southwest region in general. But at every altitude, every environment is really different, and the health impacts that the populations are experiencing in those different environments are all a little bit different. The reason that we have climate change is because of air pollution, just to remember. And air pollution itself causes all sorts of health problems. We know we've seen a lot worse respiratory problems with the wildfires. On high air pollution days, we have more risk for heart attacks and strokes. And what happened here has really helped health professionals identify and understand the health impacts from climate change. So we're thinking about long-term exposure to particulate air pollution that comes from wildfires, not only in New Mexico, but all the way to the west of us. All of those wildfires impact the air pollution in New Mexico. We are starting to understand a lot of really important things on extreme heat days and the impacts on both the respiratory and the cardiovascular and the nervous system as well. We know that asthma rates have gone up particularly in pediatric populations over the last 20 years in certain communities. Respiratory illness is going to get worse. There's going to be more asthma, there's going to be worsening exacerbations of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and we worry about all the populations that can't stay in homes with air filters, but shut your windows, shut your doors, put on air filters inside of your house. Don't go outside on these high particulate days when we're really impacted by the wildfire smoke, very, very specifically. As public health professionals and health professionals working in partnership with these first responder communities, we are really trying to protect and prevent problems on our frontline workers. And just depending on where firefighters are, there's also breathing in fire, right? Causing long-term scarring in the lungs. What we really need is more public health infrastructure. We need more community connection infrastructure. How can we be resilient in the context of these devastating losses? Communities that have more connection to each other actually do better. So when people are connected to their communities, when they need help evacuating, when they need help accessing water, fresh water or food, if they're connected to the communities, they actually can benefit from community sharing. If there's enough infrastructure for folks to go out and help, their own post-traumatic stress is a little bit lighter. As I have gotten more connected with community, I actually feel so much more hopeful. We are witnessing more and more climate disruptions and working with the next generation of not only health profession students, but sustainability studies students and engineering students and social and psychology students. The students are coming in and they are so bright and so ready to get out and do this work. Health isn't something that we just determine ourselves individually. Our health is actually, as a result, is intertwined with the health of our communities, the health of our nature around us. We all have a responsibility to connect with each other. We have a responsibility to value each other's wisdom, to value our nature spaces, to think about how we contribute to more pollution ourselves, to think about how we can clean up some of the pollution in our community. You know, if we really get that on a deep level, I think everyone will be able to move in their own individual way, in their own individual profession into this work.